Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And I appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, watch previous episodes. Got a lot going on my channel, lots to do about spirit guides, more than a few reels about how to connect with spirit, some things that happened to me during readings. I am doing readings. If you're watching this in November, I am offering a November special on readings. You can check that out through my website on my Linktree profile in my bio here. What else is going on? I have a podcast linking to the afterlife, and it's going very well. During this podcast, I spend each episode with a guest, either connecting them with one of their loved ones in the world of spirit, or to one of their soul's past lives, soul pieces that are outstanding. And then we bring it around to how that can help in this life. But today we're going to talk about a few spirit signs that have been working for me over the years. And I want to share with you how you can connect with those spirit signs and how to ask and hear spirit when you ask. So let's start off with dreams. You might have heard that before. You wait for a dream. However, did you know that you can ask for help and then ask spirit to send you a sign in your dream? Many years ago, when I was teaching yoga for another studio, I knew there was something more for me, but I wasn't figuring out how that was going to happen. So during one of my classes where no one showed up, I got down on my hands and knees, I cried, I prayed. And that night I asked the universe, because I wasn't a medium at the time, so I might have said, hey, universe, show me what I need to do regarding my yoga teaching. And that night I had a very specific dream, didn't need any interpretation at all. In the dream, I got up, I dressed, I took my daughter, who was about 5 at the time, but not 5 in real life, brought her up to the local health club and asked if they needed a yoga teacher. I woke up and I said, well, that's exactly what I'll do. I went to the local yoga, well, it wasn't a yoga studio, it was a health club. And I asked, would you like a yoga teacher? I'd love to have some place to teach. And they said, gosh, we've never had a yoga teacher here. We would love that. When can you start? And I did. I started immediately, gained a fabulous following there for a year. And then I opened my own studio. And that leading me to this next way that you can hear spirit. Some of the best times to hear spirit coming through, because those ideas, those thoughts are out there. It's just that our minds are busy, or we are busy, and we might not hear them. So just before you fall asleep, and just when you wake up in the morning, before you open your eyes and bolt out of bed, let's say the alarm didn't even go off yet, but you find yourself in that still little bit of awake and asleep state, you might hear words from spirit. So when I was looking for a new studio to teach, open my own place, I heard very clearly early one morning that I should go visit my friend Sally, who owns the pizzeria downtown. When I woke up, I'm like, okay, it worked for me in a dream last time. I'll assume that this is going to work. So I trudged down to the pizzeria and I was talking to Sally. Nobody else was there except her husband, who was sitting there. And I asked Sally, I think I really need to open my own studio. You guys got any ideas about where or possibilities of that? And her husband chimed right in. He said, Donna, have you tried the place right above Green Mountain Furniture Store right down here on the corner? And I said, no, I didn't even know there was a place there. He said, yeah, there's a place upstairs. Just go in there and ask around. That's what I did. 2 minutes later, I find myself walking up the stairs to this open area that looked out over the street on 2 sides. It was filled with boxes and office furniture there. It was a pretty good size, like 500 to 800 square feet, but it was just filled with junk. So I walked out the other door into the hallway, and across the hallway, there was another door, an office. It was an office building. I knocked on that door and I said to the guy at the desk, hey, anybody know who owns this space right across the hall? And he said, I do. And I said, you do? Are you planning on doing anything with it? He said, no, it's just storage. And I said, I'd like to rent it. Would you be interested? And he said, I would. What are you going to use it for? I said, a yoga studio. And he said, I love yoga. And he gave me this great deal. And he also had everything cleared out within a week. That studio, I opened it and that remained open for 2 or 3 years. And then I sold it and it was still a yoga studio for a few years after that. So second way that spirit can communicate with you, if you slow down enough and if you're quiet enough and if you receive it and don't doubt it, don't leave room for doubt. Third one is through feathers, right? A lot of you may have heard that. If you see a feather, you may have asked for a sign from your loved one. Well, I've seen a few and a lot of them I questioned, but here's what happened one time. I was living in Virginia and I typically would stop at this grocery store at least 3 or 4 times a week on my way home or on my way home from work. I would always park in the same spot for 3, 4, 5 years. I would always park in the same spot. One day I heard spirit say, park over there, Donna. I literally heard and felt and sensed the words, park on the other side of the parking lot. I didn't question it. I didn't doubt it. Pulled my car over to the furthest end of the parking lot, opened my car door, and as I went to get out, I looked down and there was a feather right there. I knew that was the sign, but I didn't miss the sign because the first sign was spirit saying, park over there. And I did, and there was the feather. Now, I didn't ask at that time who it was from. I didn't know. My lesson in that message, my message was to listen to the voice, to not doubt the voice, don't question the voice, right? Another way, feathers. Another way spirit can communicate with you is through the TV. If you're watching a movie, a TV show, or the TV turns on or off, all those things have happened to me. But you can also ask a question. Let's say you're sitting down and you're about to turn on a movie. You could ask a question to spirit, universe, in that moment. Maybe a specific question. For me, it was a specific question to Abraham Lincoln, one of my spirit guides. Before I sat down to watch a movie, I asked, Abe, can you send me some sort of sign? Please, I need a sign. This was a while ago before I fully jumped into my mediumship. So I'm laying there watching some movie and a commercial comes on, and it's a commercial for the Lincoln car, a dealership commercial. The first thing the announcer says is, the signs are everywhere. And I was shocked. And the commercial went on and I said, did he just say the signs are everywhere after I asked for a sign from Mr. Lincoln? And I literally got a sign through a Lincoln commercial. So I said, I don't know. I heard it, but I'd like to hear it again. And the very next commercial break, the first commercial was that same one of the Lincoln dealership. And I heard it clearly. The signs are everywhere. I'm telling you guys, the signs are everywhere. The challenges are putting ourselves out of the way, right? Getting out of the way, slowing down the mind so we can hear, spending more time in silence or stillness, and asking the question of spirit, of the universe. Ask a question. I'm going to give you one more, and that's going to be about through the radio, through a song. A lot of spirit science messages will come through a song on the radio. I know someone that does readings that way, asks a question and then a song will come to their head and that's what they interpret. I do that often during a reading. If a song comes to my head, I will interpret the message in that song, whether it's a phrase in the song or the title in the song, or even who wrote the song. But this specific time was just when I first started channeling spirit. I was practicing. And I wasn't really speaking out loud. I was just doing some deep meditations. And during one meditation, a group of souls came toward me in my meditation. And this one soul gentleman stepped forward and he said, "My name is Israel and I will be coming to you." And then he said a bunch of stuff, reiterating what he's going to do and how it's going to go down. So I kept that in my head. And another sign appeared just as I walked out of the door where I was meditating, but this one's about radios. So I went into my car that day, and as I'm driving, I'm flicking the radio station. And as I'm flicking, I held for a second and I heard the words of the song. And the words were, "Israel is coming to you." And I just at that moment, I was still flicking. So I flicked past it and I went, "What the heck did they just say?" And I flicked all the way back to that station, found the song, and sure enough, again, I heard, "Israel is coming to you." Confirmation that morning when Israel stepped into my meditation and told me exactly that he was coming to me. I would love to hear your stories about how you asked for spirit for a sign, or you asked the universe for a sign, you asked your loved one for a sign. These are just a few examples. There's so many ways your loved ones can speak to you. The universe can speak to you. You can also just ask and see what happens. So let me know in the comments. Let me know about your signs. Let me know how anything worked for you that I might have suggested here. Would love to hear it. Again, thanks for subscribing, and turn on the notification bell for any live events or any other videos that I upload, which I will be doing more of. Thanks again for watching my channel and taking a look at all my other videos. Take care, you guys. See ya.